Reading through the Bible in 1 year, January 17th, Genesis 18, Matthew 17, Nehemiah 7, and Acts 17. Now, the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre while he was sitting at the tent door in the heat of the day. This is to the Lord appeared to Abraham. When he lifted up his eyes and looked, behold, 3 men were standing opposite him. And when he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the earth and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in your sight, please do not pass your servant by. Please let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will bring a piece of bread that you may refresh yourselves. After that you may go on, since you have visited your servant. And they said, So do what you have said. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, Quickly, prepare 3 measures of fine flour and knead it and make bread cakes. Abraham also ran to the herd and took a tender and choice calf and gave it to the servant, and he hurried to prepare it. He took curds and milk and the calf which he had prepared and placed it before them, and he was standing by them under the tree as they ate. Then they said to him, Where is Sarah, your wife? And he said, There, in the tent. And he said, Surely I will return to you at this time next year, and behold, Sarah, your wife, will have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent door, which was behind him. Now, Sarah and Abraham were old, advanced in age. Sarah was past childbearing. She was 90 years old. And Sarah laughed to herself, saying, After I become old, shall I have pleasure? My Lord being old also, because Abraham was over 100. Is there anything too difficult for the Lord? At the appointed time, let's respond. And the Lord said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I indeed bear a child when I am so old? Is anything too difficult for the Lord? At the appointed time, I will return to you at this time next year, and Sarah will have a son. Sarah denied it, however, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. And Abraham was walking with them to send them off. The Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do? Since Abraham will surely become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of the earth will be blessed. For I have chosen him so that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him. And the Lord said, The outcry of Sodom and Gomorrah is indeed great, and their sin is exceedingly grave. I will go down now and see if they have done entirely according to its outcry, which has come to me, and if not, I will know. Then the men turned away from there and went toward Sodom, while Abraham was still standing before the Lord. And Abraham came near and said, Will you indeed sweep away the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Will you indeed sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous and the wicked are treated alike. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth deal justly? So the Lord said, All right. If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare the whole place on their account. And Abraham replied, Now, behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord, although I am but dust and ashes. Suppose the 50 are lacking 5. Will you destroy the whole city because of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45. Abraham spoke to him yet again and said, Suppose the 40 are found there. He said, I will not do it on account of the 40. Then he said, Oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak. Suppose 30 are found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30. Then he said, Now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 20. Then he said, Oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak only this once. Suppose 10 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 10. As soon as he had finished speaking to Abraham, the Lord departed, and Abraham returned to his place. Newsflash, there weren't 10 righteous people there. Matthew 17. So let me reread this section, then we'll go down to here, because from what I understand and from what I can see in the text, they're related. So, for the Son of Man is going to come in the glory of his Father and is with his angels, and then will repay every man according to his deeds. Truly I say to you, there are some of those who are standing here who will not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John his brother, and led them up on a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun. They're seeing the Son of Man in his glory. And his garments became white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, talking with him. Moses representing the law, and Elijah representing the prophets. And Peter said to Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I will make 3 tabernacles, or 3 tents, here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he was still speaking, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud said, This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. When the disciples heard this, they fell face down on the ground and were terrified. And Jesus came up to them and touched them and said, Get up, do not be afraid. And lifting up their eyes, they saw no one except Jesus himself alone. As they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus commanded them, saying, Tell the vision to no one until the Son of Man has risen from the dead. And his disciples asked him, Well, why then do the scribes say that Elijah must come first? And he said, Elijah is coming and will restore all things. But I say to you that Elijah already came, and they did not recognize him, but did to him whatever they wished. So also the Son of Man is going to suffer at their hands. Then the disciples understood that he had spoken to them about John the Baptist. When they came to the crowd, a man came up to Jesus, falling on his knees before him, saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and is very ill, for he often falls into the fire and often into the water. I brought him to your disciples, and they could not cure him. And Jesus answered and said, You unbelieving and perverted generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked him, and the demon came out of him, and the boy was cured at once. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, Why were we not able to drive it out? And he said to them, Because of the littleness of your faith. For truly I say to you, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible to you. But this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. Again, see the brackets? The brackets mean that the earliest manuscripts do not have this verse. And also the thing about telling a mountain to move from here to there, you'll hear Jesus say it a few times. That was a common term for something that's impossible. He's saying even what you know to be impossible is possible with God. And when they were gathering together in Galilee, Jesus said to them, The Son of Man is going to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him. And he will be raised on the 3rd day. And they were deeply grieved. When they came to Capernaum, those who collected the 2 drachma tax came to Peter and said, Does your teacher pay the tax? Does he not pay the 2 drachma tax? And he said, Yes. When he came into the house, Jesus spoke to him first, saying, What do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth collect customs or poll tax? From their sons or from strangers? Peter said, From strangers. Then Jesus said to him, Then the sons are exempt. However, so that we do not offend them. Go out to the sea and throw in a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. And when you open its mouth, you will find a shekel. Take that and give it to them for you and me." Now Nehemiah chapter 7. The census of the returned exiles. Now, when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the gatekeepers and the singers and the Levites were appointed, then I put Hanani my brother and Hananiah the commander of the fortress in charge of Jerusalem, for he was a faithful man and feared God more than many. Then I said to them, "Do not let the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun is hot, and while they are standing guard. Let them shut and bolt the doors. Also, appoint guards from the inhabitants of Jerusalem, each at his post, and each in front of his own house." Now the city was large and spacious, but the people in it were few, and the houses were not built. Then my God put it into my heart to assemble the nobles, the officials, and the people to be enrolled by genealogies. Then I found the book of the genealogy of those who came up at first, in which was found the following record. These are the people of the province who came up from the captivity of the exiles, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away, and who returned to Jerusalem and Judah, each to his city. Who came with Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Rehemiah, Nahamani, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispereth, Bigvai, Nahum, Baanah. The number of the men of the people of Israel. The sons of Parosh, 2,172. The sons of Shephatiah, 372. The sons of Era, 652. The sons of Pahath Moab of the sons of Jeshua and Joab, 2,818. The sons of Elam, 1,254. The sons of Zatu, 845. The sons of Zakkai, 760. The sons of Benui, 648. The sons of Bebai, 628. The sons of Azgad, 2,322. The sons of Adonikam, 667. The sons of Bigvai, 2,067. The sons of Adin, 655. The sons of Ater of Hezekiah, 98. The sons of Hashum, 328. The sons of Bezai, 324. The sons of Harif, 112. The sons of Gibeon, 95. The men of Bethlehem and Netophah, 188. The men of Anathoth, 128. The men of Beth Asmaveth, 42. The men of Kiriath Jearim, Shephirah, and Beeroth, 743. The men of Ramah and Geba, 621. The men of Michmas, 122. The men of Bethel and Ai, 123. The men of the other Nebo, 52. The sons of the other Elam, 1,254. The sons of Harim, 320. The men of Jericho, 345. The sons of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 721. The sons of Senah, 3,930. The priests, the sons of Jediah of the house of Jeshua, 973. The sons of Immer, 1,052. The sons of Pashur, 1,247. The sons of Harim, 1,017. The Levites, the sons of Jeshua, of Kadmiel, of the sons of Hodeva, 74. The singers, the sons of Asaph, 148. The gatekeepers, the sons of Shallum, the sons of Ater, sons of Talmon, sons of Akub, the sons of Hatita, the sons of Shobai, 138. The temple servants, the sons of Ziha, the sons of Hashupha, the sons of Tabaoth, the sons of Keros, the sons of Sia, the sons of Pedon, the sons of Labana, the sons of Hagaba, the sons of Shalmai, the sons of Hanan, the sons of Gidel, the sons of Gehar, the sons of Reiah, the sons of Rezin, the sons of Nekoda, the sons of Gazam, the sons of Uzzah, the sons of Paseah, the sons of Basai, the son of Meunim, the sons of Nephushasim, the sons of the the sons of Bakbuk, the sons of Hakupha, the sons of Harhur, the sons of Bazlith, the sons of Mahida, the sons of Harsha, the sons of Barkos, the sons of Sisera, the sons of Tema, the sons of Neziah, the sons of Hatipha, the sons of Solomon's servants, the sons of Sotai, the sons of Sophhereth, the sons of Perida, the sons of Jaela, the sons of Darkon, the sons of Gedel, the sons of Shephatiah, the sons of Hatil, the sons of Pokreth, Hazabaim, the sons of Ammon, all the temple servants, and the sons of Solomon's servants were 392. These were they who came up from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Kerub, Adon, and Immer. But they could not show their fathers' houses or their descendants, whether they were of Israel. The sons of Deliah, the sons of Tobiah, the sons of Nekoda, 642. Of the priests, the sons of Hobiah, the sons of Hakaz, the sons of Barzillai, who took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was named after them. These searched among their ancestral registration, but it could not be located. Therefore they were considered unclean and excluded from the priesthood. The governor said to them that they should not eat from the most holy things until a priest arose with Urim and Thummim. The whole assembly together was 42,360, besides their male and female servants, of whom there were 7,337. They had 245 male and female singers. Their horses were 736, their mules 245, their camels 435, and their donkeys 6,720. Some among the heads of fathers' households gave to the work. The governor gave to the treasury 1,000 gold drachmas, 50 basins, and 530 priest garments. Some of the heads of fathers' households gave into the treasury of the work 20,000 gold drachmas and 2,200 silver minas. That which the rest of the people gave was 20,000 gold drachmas and 2,000 silver minas and 67 priest garments. Now, the priests, the Levites, the gatekeepers, the singers, some of the people, the temple servants, and all Israel lived in their cities. And when the 7th month came, the sons of Israel were in their cities. Now I'm going to scroll through here to get us caught up to where we were. For that many names, it goes pretty quickly. There we go. All right. And now let's go on to Acts chapter 17. When we get down here to this section, at verse 22 and onward, if you've ever read a book on systematic theology, this is a perfect outline for how it looks. And we're going to get into some of that in a minute, but you'll see what I mean. Because you'll see immediately the same types of things. A systematic theology book begins with describing what systematic theology actually is, and then it goes into the aspects that describe God. Who is God? What is he like? What is he not like? What are the aspects that distinguish him from all of creation? And those are the things he's going to explore in pretty much the same order as every systematic theology I've ever read. It's kind of cool. Anyway, let's go on. Now, when they had traveled through Amphipolis and Apollonia, they came to Thessalonica, where there was a synagogue of the Jews. And according to Paul's custom, he went to them, and for 3 Sabbaths reasoned with them from the Scriptures, explaining and giving evidence that the Christ had to suffer. Remember, because they all thought that he was going to be this great conquering ruler. He's like, no. The Christ has to suffer first and rise from the dead. And saying, this Jesus whom I'm proclaiming to you is the Christ. And some of them were persuaded and joined Paul and Silas, along with a large number of the God-fearing Greeks, Gentiles, and a number of the leading women. But the Jews, capital J again, this means it's the ruling class of the Jews, became jealous. And taking along some wicked men from the marketplace, they formed a mob and set the city in an uproar. And attacking the house of Jason, they were seeking to bring them out to the people. When they did not find them, they began dragging Jason and some of the brethren before the city authorities, shouting, "These men who have upset the world have come here also, and Jason has welcomed them. And they all act contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying that there is another king, Jesus." They stirred up the crowd, and the city authorities who heard these things, when they had received a pledge from Jason and the others, basically taking money from them, they released them. The brethren immediately sent Paul and Silas away by night to Berea. And when they arrived, they went into the synagogue of the Jews. Now these were more noble-minded than those in Thessalonica, for they received the word with great eagerness, examining the scriptures daily to see whether these things were so. In the same way, you, when your pastor or friend or anybody you talk to online tells you, well, this verse says this, verify that. Even if it's your pastor, even if it's a whole team of elders at your church, and they tell you, oh, the Bible says this, just verify it. It takes 2 minutes to flip through, read the verse that they're talking about, and then read the block of text above it and the block of text below it. Read the whole thing together so you get the context. Make sure what they're saying is true. If you have any questions on it, bring it up to them. They should be more than willing to talk it out with you. But this is what the Bereans were doing. Therefore, many of them believed, because they were examining the scriptures and going, well, yeah, this is literally what the scripture says, so I believe them. Then, along with a number of prominent Greeks, men and women. But when the Jews of Thessalonica found out that the word of God had been proclaimed by Paul in Berea also, they came there as well, agitating and stirring up the crowds. It's like a roving band of rioters who are following them around here. Then immediately the brethren sent Paul out to go as far as the sea, and Silas and Timothy remained there. So, because they figure, well, if we send Paul away alone, they're going to think that he's still here. So we're going to give him a chance to get away. Now, those who escorted Paul brought him as far as Athens, and receiving a command for Silas and Timothy to come to him as soon as possible, they left. Now, while Paul was waiting for them at Athens, his spirit was being provoked within him as he was observing the city full of idols. So he was reasoning in the synagogue with the Jews and the God-fearing Gentiles in the marketplace every day with those who happened to be present. And also some of the Epicurean and Stoic philosophers were conversing with him. Epicurean are people these are philosophers who believe that you should be able to go out and embrace everything that life has to offer in whatever quantity you want, because you can find a wider breadth of philosophy through that. And Stoic philosophers are literally the exact opposite. Some of them would literally give up their families, give up their homes, give up their land, give up everything, and live as homeless people so that they would have nothing to their name. And they would only live by the gifts of other people, because they thought that that was a way to be closer to understanding deep philosophies, right? So these are some of the philosophers that they were conversing with him. Some were saying, what does this idle babbler wish to say? Not saying babbling like what he's saying doesn't make sense, but literally saying it doesn't make sense because he speaks a different language. He's speaking probably Greek, but he also speaks Hebrew. So there's that. Others, he seems to be a proclaimer of strange deities because he was preaching Jesus and the resurrection. And they took him and brought him to the Areopagus, saying, may we know what this new teaching is that you are proclaiming? It's the Areopagus itself was a large flat rock on top of a hill. It's called Mars Hill. It's the hill of Ares, Areopagus. And he, it was the best way to put it was, it's like a gladiator arena for ideas, because people would go up there and they would have these big debates about, big grand topics. You could come up with anything you wanted. So they drug him up there to say, okay, let's have you go at it. So you can explain these things to us. Yep. For you are bringing some strange things to our ears, so we want to know what these things mean. Now, all the Athenians and the strangers visiting there used to spend time in nothing other than telling or hearing something new. So Paul stood in the midst of the Areopagus and said, Men of Athens, I observe that you are very religious in all aspects. This is the section I was talking about. For while passing through and examining the objects of your worship, I also found an altar with this inscription, to an unknown God. They didn't want to miss a god, so they built an altar to this unknown God just in case their city full of gods and altars and idols didn't have one. So that's what they were worried about. Therefore, what you worship in ignorance, again, that's not an attack on them, it's just saying you don't know, right? This is the unknown God. This unknown God I proclaim to you. The God who made the world and all things in it. So he's creator of all. Since he is Lord of heaven and earth, he rules over his creation. He has sovereign control over all of it. He does not dwell in temples made with hands, nor is he served by human hands. Because remember, their gods and idols would have to have temples and offerings and those kind of things so they could eat, right? But our God doesn't need us to do anything for him. He exists just fine with or without us. Nor is he served by human hands as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all people life and breath and all things. So this creator God is actually directly related with us in our daily needs and sustains us. And he made from one man every nation of mankind to live on the face of the earth. So he also now cares not only about his planet that he created, in the cosmos he created, right? But he also cares about the creatures on it and you individually he cares about, right? But not only you individually, now he also cares about the nations because he created these nations, so that they could relate to one another. And having determined their appointed times and the boundaries of their habitation. God is so directly related with these people and nations that he defines even their boundaries. So God is also responsible for the outcomes of all skirmishes and battles and wars, especially those over land. Why? That they would seek God. If perhaps they might grope for him and find them, though he is not far from each one of us. For in him we live and move and exist. Even as some of your own poets have said, now he's quoting from their poets, for we also are his children, and being the children of God, we ought not to think of the divine nature as like gold or silver or stone, or an image formed by the art and thought of man. Because if God is this grand creator of all things, can we really fathom what he really is other than what he tells us about himself? No. Therefore, having overlooked the times of ignorance, because he knows these things are past, God is now declaring, revealing to all men, that all people everywhere should repent. Because he has fixed a day in which he will judge the world in righteousness through a man whom he has appointed and furnished proof to all men by raising him from the dead. Again, as I've said before, that's the reason for Jesus rising from the dead. It's to prove to us that he has conquered death and to prove to us that he is who he said he was. Because he's the only one who could lay his life down and take it back up again. Now, when they heard of the resurrection of the dead, some began to sneer, but others said, we shall hear you again concerning this. So Paul went out of their midst. But some of the men joined him and believed, among whom were Dionysius the Areopagite and a woman named Damaris and others with them. And that's it for today. So we'll be back tomorrow. Behold, the word of the Lord.